All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Sam.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Jesse.
And as always, let us know if there are any tech issues and we'll try and fix them as quick as possible. All right, so Mike, would you kick us off with the news?
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up on the stream up myself, just to make sure that if there are any issues, that I can see them in real time.
Nice.
Look at you being proactive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I care about this show, largely. All right. A couple quick things before I dive into the news. One, I just want to give Jesse some props because since we last did this, Jesse became a master. A master of a master.
Yeah.
Meaning mastery.
I finished
Full
that
on
damn
mastery.
school. Yeah.
All right.
Also, I wanted to make sure that I plugged our crossover giveaway with What's Your Spaghetti Policy podcast. Whole bunch of Moon Knight #1s going out the door. It's going to be awesome. And we're doing a giveaway stream tomorrow night. So if you're not busy on a Friday night, I mean, we're in the back end of a pandemic.
So we're still in a pandemic, so you're not really busy.
I mean, we can maybe, jump in there, have some fun, get some stuff. Even if you want already on the daily, you can get stuff in that. All right, start with the news right now. Here we go. Loki's being revealed as being gender fluid on the new Disney Plus show. So Loki is actually kind of known to be multiple ages and genders throughout his history in comics. So do you think they're actually going to pull in multiple different actors for something like this, or do you think they're just gonna?
I don't think so.
Hashtag
No.
Disney.
I don't know. I think that people are just
I
like
kind
so
of want
used.
teenage Loki real bad.
I think people are just like so used to Tom Hiddleston at this point that they're not going to do that.
Okay.
Essentially, what they're gonna do is they're gonna go full like Captain America: First Avenger with like the scrawny dude that they used in the beginning of the movie, and put Chris Evans' face on. They're just gonna do that with Tom Hiddleston.
Probably.
But they don't change the face; they just leave it Chris
Yeah.
Evans.
It's super weird.
It's like, yeah, we're just gonna be lazy now. You guys can shut up. I'm actually curious, like, because Tom Hiddleston is a very handsome man. So like I'd be curious to see what his lady Loki looks like. It should be cool. It'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Keeping things in that Asgard realm right now, Taika Waititi is unsure about directing a sequel to Thor: Love and Thunder. So would you replace him, or do you think you just maybe stop making Thor for a little bit?
I would be fine if they just kind of shelved him for a little bit. I feel like they've done so much with him. They've given him so much character growth over the years, and it's just, what more do you really have to say at this point? Like, he's been there since the beginning. He's got a lot of screen time. Like, maybe just give him a break for a little bit.
Yeah, what was it? Infinity War, where he had like the most screen time out of anybody?
Yep.
I think it was. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's fine, but it's a lot. Sam, how you feeling about that?
Well, kind of mixed, to be honest, because pretty much we've been getting like a new version of Thor. It seems like the past 3 movies. They keep the character interesting, which I can't really. They can't. Well, not for the first 2 movies,
No.
It was very stagnant. Then we got Ragnarok, which reinvented the character. Then
after Ragnarok, that's fine.
Yeah, Infinity War.
I would
Endgame,
actually disagree. I don't think it reinvented the character. I would say that it reinvented how they tell the story.
Okay.
Like, because it went from being
really
melodramatic to like an action comedy.
Yep. Well, and I think the last Thor run, whenever they do it, there needs to be like a return to the dramatic, or at least a healthy balance. I don't know. I think as long as they keep it interesting and they don't stay stagnant like they have with some character solo outings, Iron Man. So, I think they should keep going as long as Hemsworth is willing and they have the talent to do it elsewhere. So,
well, first let me hop into Janal's stuff here real quick. So he says he thinks we'll get Lady Loki, but he's not sure if we'll see any others, which is fine, absolutely fair. He said he would do another Thor after Love and Thunder, but if they could get Edgar Wright, which I actually kind of like that idea a little bit. But other than that, he doesn't think we can go back to serious Thor. That's actually kind of where I'm going. So there is a story where it's old man Thor at the basically end of the universe. Like I would actually take that because it's like him and his granddaughters basically, and like everything else has been killed, and like there's this massively destructive force coming for him to snuff out the life of everywhere. But it doesn't quite end like that. But I think it's a really, really cool story. And you could like get Chris Hemsworth and some grays. He's already really good looking. But, I mean, it sucks. Not all of us can be that beefy and handsome and funny at the same time. It's like save some for everybody else. But I digress. Like give him that old cranky ass king type vibe.
right.
And I feel like that could be just like something different and weighty, but also kind of fun because he's like old man get off my lawn type deal. Like I do just love that idea. As far as replacing him though, replacing Taika Waititi, I think you're right, man. I feel like he just breathed a whole new life into this particular franchise. So it's hard to make that shift if you're not going to like lean all the way in and have everyone's buy-in.
Yeah.
The other thing I kind of thought about is what if you leaned into Jane as Thor for a little while?
Yeah, that would work.
Because she was Thor for like a good 3.5, 4 years, whatever, in the comics. So I wouldn't really be mad about that. But it's just interesting because I don't know what Natalie Portman's commitment to making Marvel movies is right now.
It's a really compelling story too. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how far they're going to go in this movie, but I'm interested.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move into our topics for tonight. First, the Eternals trailer. Did you watch it? Did you have thoughts or feelings, or also more thoughts?
Is that like the 2-minute long that trailer that didn't really say much of anything?
Yep.
Okay. Then I think I did watch it. I mean, it was a 2-minute long trailer that didn't say much of anything, so
yeah.
Yeah, and to me that was like the problem, right?
yeah, it's like you have this basically unknown entity that you're trying to make into this blockbuster movie with this stacked cast, and that's your first trailer. You're just like, oh, look at these pretty screenshots, and look at this, and oh, look at them all standing on a cliff. Okay, but what is this? Why should I care?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, exactly.
Marvel's also like notorious for doing that. We just know the properties a little bit better. Like if we were to not know any of the other characters and we were to go back and like look at the trailers, it would be just as fucking ambiguous. It's just what they do, especially for a first trailer
I don't
too.
know.
You know, there's like at least 4 more trailers on its way.
I guess. I mean, the movie comes out this November, or
Yeah.
so. I mean, I don't have much more time. It's only 5 months from now, but I guess we'll see. I mean, that trailer was a bit too cryptic, though, even by their standards.
But from
And,
what
like,
I got from the trailer was they've been around forever, and for some reason they've just kind of taken a back seat. And then, you know,
Yeah, that's it.
and that's it. That honestly, that's all I need. I don't give a shit. Especially when, you know, they're throwing around like lines like, yeah, I guess I could lead the Avengers, sure. Like give me I want to know the backstory, the context to what makes you have such a blasé attitude about like, yeah, I guess I could just do this, sure.
I love Icarus as a character. He's just kind of a gruff motherfucker, just for lack of better descriptor. and he just kind of runs roughshod over a lot of people. So I'd be curious to see how they end up playing that. But that trailer just, it was okay, I guess. Like it didn't excite me, you know. But maybe that's a good thing, you know. Maybe it's like, yeah, we're just gonna play it safe for right now. But like Twitter, Twitter and other social media just went crazy because it was like Thanos snapped, like no nothing, nothing at all.
Yeah.
You know, there's just a superhuman civil war. Nothing.
Nothing.
Like there's an invasion of New York with a bunch of aliens, and y'all did nothing. It's just so funny to me. It's just like, oh yeah, we've been hanging around just watching y'all fuck off.
Like, what's a big enough event to get you guys involved?
It's like, and they're like, oh yeah, there's no more Captain America or Iron Man. And I'm just like, oh, that's it? You just had to just kill a couple of motherfuckers, and then we're back. It's like,
Oh yeah, half the universe is gone. Yeah, they got it.
this is fine. No, we're not gonna get involved.
It does raise like a lot
Just-
of it raises so many questions more than anything. Like especially
And
about
that's
the
also-
snap. Like, are they vulnerable to that? I guess they weren't, because they weren't too worried about it.
That's what I want to see in this movie. Just an explanation of what the hell they were doing during all these events that were so important that they just could not be bothered.
Jesse just wants
Yeah, like,
an
I was-
interrogation scene the entire movie, like one by one of all of them. Where the fuck were you in 2012?
That's what this movie should be. It's an entire framing device where it's just an interrogation scene and it's just like a bunch of flashbacks.
Yeah.
Like, why were you not here? We could have used you.
It's just you know, and they're like the way that the story works. They are partially responsible for Thanos and people from Titan. So it's just like, okay, well, I mean, this is your fucking mess. you should clean this up. Yet we're here dealing with it. So I'm just so curious to see how it gets explained. And I think that's the thing that has me most interested. Like right beneath that is the fact that yes, I love the Eternals and I think they're super cool and interesting, and it's a diverse group, and the comic out right now is fantastic. I'd absolutely recommend it. But like I'm like it's like I was on a show earlier this week and we were talking about Fantastic Four, and it's like, well, maybe they've been around the entire time, and I'm like, but why? How would that work? Like, you can't explain that because, like, again, aliens, half the population's just gone. Like, and y'all didn't do shit, like nothing at all. I don't know. So it was
But see,
very interesting.
there I could believe like Reed did something to like screw them up, and it's just like, well, we can't get involved because we're kind of stuck in a pocket dimension or something.
Yeah. That was my like one thing. I was like, yeah, they could just be like, oh yeah, we're stuck in the negative zone and had no effect on anything. It's, all right, I guess I can. But there's too many other events where it's just like, yeah, you just sat on the sideline. All right, enough of the bullshit. So this month is LGBTQ month, which is very, very fun. So I wanted to start on this show by talking about our firsts. So like the first characters that you realized were in the LGBTQ community, first time you remember seeing them, where you saw them, and what about that character resonated with you.
So I think the first character that I ever really realized, whatever, was gay was Iceman. When they kind of did that sort of retcon. And I love Iceman.
Of course.
He's and this is, I swear to God, not a pun, a
Do
cool
it.
guy.
Yes.
What did you say?
He's
Sam,
just-
we win.
He's just a cool guy. And shut up, Sam. That was
I want to
not.
be a
I
cool
prefaced it
guy.
with this is not a pun.
Just
And
an
yeah, I
American
mean,
guy.
Iceman is just great, and
You've ruined
to
me for the
just
night.
like see that and just be like, yo, bro.
Yeah.
Like honestly, the thing about that, right, is like how he like comes to the realization as an adult that he's gay, where he's like, it's a stupid timey-wimey story where he's there with his younger self. His younger self basically says, "Hey, you know we're gay, right?" And he's like, "What? What are you talking about?" He's like, "Why do you think it has never worked out with a girl?" And like he sat there and thought about it. He's like, "Oh, oh, yeah, I guess you're right." Like, seems to make sense. That's good. Yeah, Iceman, of course, has always been one of my favorites. And when they made him gay, I was just like, okay, it tracks. I'm not mad about that at all. For me, I would say Kate Kane, Batwoman. Like when I remember when I first learned about her and I started reading that book, I was just like, yeah, this character's great. I'm a sucker for redheads, so please. And then
Even fake
it's
ones.
like, oh, she's lesbian. It's like, oh, that's cool. And then like she turned out to be even more rad. So like I just think she's a freaking amazing character, and I'm happy that people get to see themselves more in heroes.
So for me, I mean, I don't do a ton of comic book reading, so I don't find out about these things until like it's really fucking obvious, you know. It's just like, oh hey, how about this? And they're kissing then. So okay. And I guess that first was like with Poison Ivy. Um
Yeah.
so, I was like, well, it's about time that I started to see something like this because I'm, clearly not the first person in line, like I said, to have seen something like this. I'm like, wow, well, I hope this has been going on for longer than when I'm first seeing it now. But yeah, that was the first time I ever saw any like LGBTQ stuff in comics. So, and I think it actually
Yeah.
pretty closely lined up with Iceman, because I think it was like one of those things where it's like a list of characters, that are LGBTQ in comics.
Yeah.
So
It's like mid to late 2000s, there was just like a cavalcade of characters that were closeted, or it just wasn't very clear, and they were just like, yeah, we're just doing this now.
Yeah.
And I think it was the right move. It was 100% the right move. So yeah, it was good. It's good. Cool. Well, that's it. We'll get into more Pride Month topics as the month rolls on. It'll be a good time. I look forward to it. But outside of that, man, that's it for tonight.
Yeah. And unless we have any comments from the viewers, I think we've had a good technical success tonight for, I think, like the past 3 streams. So thumbs up for that.
Yeah.
Unless he gives a thumbs down.
Real quick, speaking of comments, Janelle says he watched the trailer. He said it was effective, and he's looking forward to it. And he said the first character that stuck out to him was North Star, an X-Men character. He said it was like a national story when he came out in Alpha Flight. And look, it's fine. Go with it. Badass, man.
Also,
good work.
Janelle, thanks for having my back. Yeah, that's a nice change of pace.
Quick, say something bad.
Disable comments. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We always have a great time doing it. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. Be sure to check out twistedcape.com, the Twistcast, Dinner Date with Mike on Twitch, and, of course, Mike's Thick Stack. We also are going to be having a sale on our TeePublic page. I believe it's 35% off until when, Mike?
An email just came through. Give me a second, and
Sure.
I'll let you know.
You're getting breaking news.
And while Mike is pulling that information up, we are going to be having an extremely distinguished guest on the Twistcast coming up. So be sure to keep an eye out for that because, not saying that any of our guests before have been undistinguished, but this is a big one, guys. So keep an eye out. Mike, you have that date?
No, I don't have it.
God damn it. All
I
right,
thought I
so
had
we're going to be posting it later in the description
Wait,
of this
I
video.
have it. June 10th through 12th, and then June 23rd through 27th, there will be 35% off.
Awesome. Okay. Well, everybody, thank you again for checking this out tonight. Until next time, my name is Sam.
I'm Mike.
I'm Jesse.
Everybody, stay twisted.